We're sitting here now on a beautiful summer day, but winter is coming. It gets cold in Syria. It's going to be lots of blankets if you're lucky to have lots of blankets. It's going to be extra sweaters if you're lucky enough to have extra sweaters. It's going to be a brutal time of life for so many ordinary people. They are going to have to make some choices between, am I going to eat for 2 or 3 days, or am I going to pay my heating bill? And nobody is untouched by what's going on in Syria right now.
Nice to see you, Ken.
Pleasure. George, welcome.
Two Canadians here in Aleppo, in Syria. Can you just give us, I know how impossible it must be, but it's a little overview of the situation in Syria.
Syria is one of the most complex places that I've sort of worked in 25 years. It started off, as everybody knows, as everybody remembers, with conflict. So infrastructure, people dispersing, displaced. Of course, there's a huge amount of need. But actually the economic crisis is what's driving most of needs now. When you go out, you meet people in the street, you talk to them, they talk about inflation, prices going up. So you have political complexity, you have economic complexity, you have geographic complexity. These things are coming together to just drive this huge spike already in the needs of ordinary Syrians in their everyday lives.
There's been a shift, right? I remember in the early days of me seeing the World Food Program work 20 years ago. I'd be standing in a field and a plane would fly high over. We're dropping things in for you, and then you run and scavenge what you can from it. That's not the system anymore. And dignity is a really big part of humanity's become a big part of this.
I'm here because I care about people and the needs of people, which are enormous and heartbreaking and in your face. As you get a little bit of stability, like we now have in big parts of the country here, you can think about how you get it done. And with the how you get it done needs to start with the people, not the commodity. What are their needs? How do they like to live their everyday lives? What do they find dignifying, empowering? What is their experience when they're getting assistance? And we try and design our processes to enable and support and empower that.
You can go to a distribution center, and depending on the size of your household, you'll get 1 box, you'll get 2 boxes, you'll get some oil, you get your basic needs. So that's what people will get. Like, it's a really big undertaking just to feed children.
Just to feed children.
And as you know, some parents with severe cases have to take their children out of school so their kids can go to work to help contribute. So this is why the money actually really, another reason it really matters.
It's keeping mothers nourished, it's keeping kids in school, it's keeping families eating.
How many kids were fed every day here? Is it 30,000 through these schools?
32,000.
32,000.
Households.
Household. And those were particularly vulnerable schools, vulnerable neighborhoods. In fact, you could see them bombed out right around the school.
And they get this little sandwich, and some of them are like, I can't eat all of this, cut it in half, take it home, share it with the brother who's out of school. I mean, it's
and then those lunches are smaller than they used to be because of funds.
Because of money.
Obviously you can't know everything about a place, and you have to get to a place and learn about it. What has really opened your eyes to a reality here that maybe you didn't quite know and couldn't know until you got here?
The people are incredibly warm, incredibly hospitable, incredibly vibrant. There's just a resilience and a tenacity about the people, which is not something you see in the news.
Yeah, and somebody might hear it and say, oh, that's a catchphrase. It's really not here.
So real, and that's what I'm saying. I've traveled all over the world. There's something special about the people here, which I did not know until I got here.
Yeah. One of the reasons I wanted to come here, I wanted to sit down with you, is to talk about a role we can play and why it is so important to help in Syria.
Okay. The Canadian government has actually been a very regular supporter of our work and of humanitarian work in general here in Syria. For people, for Canadians, it's different. It's part of our national identity. We actually care about the world. We actually care about people. We actually want to help. And when Canadians remember, care, and advocate with the government, then that sustains the government interest.
Thanks, man.
Pleasure, George.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.